So if I were a parent, I would think, how should I prepare my child? Should I safely assume that his life will be smooth sailing through the very long life expectancy? It's no longer possible. So how should we prepare them? Is that too heavy for education? That was the response of our Director of Education when we started reform in 1999. He said, this is too heavy. Right? This is just education. Yes. But education is occupying almost the majority of our children's time, perhaps better in America. You still have a lot of private life and family life. In Hong Kong, in China, it basically, the school is telling the family what to do after school. And the families welcome that. You have a manual telling you today that your child has to do 20 problems in mathematics. You have to do this project. You have to submit a project, a report on blah, blah, blah. And parents think this is good because we are engaged. Right? But that is what education is about. Back to basics, back to learning. My second will be shorter. I will be on time, but not very much overrun. Renewed understanding of learning. I think I'm talking to the, looking at education from a learning lens, things will be very different. I'll give you, now this is the common understanding. I gathered 20 people in Hong Kong last July. 10 of them are top researchers in learning, and 10 of them are the leaders in education policies in the international organizations, the World Bank, OECD, European Commission. And we agreed that these are the 5 basics about learning. Learning as experience, learning as individual undertaking, because people learn differently. I bet that all you are here listening to this kind of a presentation, when you leave the room, what happens in your brain are all different. Right? It's like eating. Eating the same food, it happens differently to different bodies. Learning is as understanding, and learning as social condition. I wouldn't elaborate because you know this very well. Hence, the real thing about learning is important. When we say study, does it always mean learning? When we say scores, is that really learning outcomes? Are all learning outcomes measurable, examinable? Is teaching always doing learning? Is our curriculum always a learning experience, or helping or hindering? What we mean by pedagogy, is it based on learning theories? Teachers, are they learning professionals? Do they know anything about learning? School management, are they managing the school? Are they leading learning? Resources, we've put on many governments. When you ask them, what have you done to education? Your education is not good enough. When people say so, the government says, I've spent a lot of money. That doesn't mean education is improved. It really means how much money, how many resources is put into improving the environments of learning. Assessment, that is the crucial part of it. Crucial part of it. Is assessment of learning or assessment for learning? And it's very different. New questions. How do we know if students are indeed learning? Even in the formal curriculum. When students learn 1 + 1 = 2, what is the meaning in his or her mind? When they have learned the grammar and sentence structure, does it mean that he or she has really learned how to use the language? How and where do students learn genetic skills? And this is perhaps where after school comes in. How people learn in the affective domain, and so on and so forth. What kind of learning experience do students deserve? That is my fundamental underpinning of our own education reform in Hong Kong. That is, we don't start with what subjects to teach or what universities want us to teach. We deliberately cut off the university before and start our curriculum reform, to think back on what kind of learning experiences our students deserve at that age, because if we don't provide them, they lose it. They won't have it, and we are responsible, or we are irresponsible. So in order, and then we work back and see what kind of learning experiences and how to compress the formal curriculum to leave room for the other experiences. That was the fundamental thinking. And what kind of learning experience do we offer then? And then what kind of experience they miss?